Hey folks, welcome to the channel. So I picked up two new accessories for the Cat 308. One's a 48-inch brush cutter, and the other is a 45-inch Flailmower. They're made by AGROTK or AGROTK out of China. I've seen some videos of these. I wanted to do my research before I picked them up, and they seem to be okay. We'll try them out. I've seen these run on smaller machines than the Cat 308, so I'm sure I got more than enough machine. I'll see how they do to see maybe sometime down in the future I can go up a couple inches and get a little larger implements. But for right now, I think these will do me. As you can see, they come wrapped in a steel cage. And thanks to some other YouTubers out there, I was prepared for that. And they have plates already set for the 308, so everything I need is right here. Once assembled, I can connect it to my 308 and get to work. But first thing I'm gonna do is do my research and make sure they've been greased, they got the necessary oils were required, and then I gotta get my 308 back over here off the job that it's on. Then I can start to mess around with these and get these to work. I do have one job lined up where this will come in handy. Well folks, it's day 2 and I'm back at putting together the mowing heads for the Cat 308. My goal for today was to actually get them out of the package, get the mounts connected, get all the fluids in there, and actually put it on the 308 and test them out. Make sure I had everything straight. But as is the case, we run into a little hiccups. And if you follow me over here to the lowboy, you'll see that the lowboy is not going too far today, and it's Saturday, December 30th. None of the tire shots open, so even if I could get that tire off, don't have a spare for this trailer, and none of the tire shops open, so getting a tire today is out of the question. So what I'll do today is just get them out of the crates, make sure the fluid levels are good, get them assembled, and just come back another day, get them mounted to the 308 and see how they work. Now once I've made the commitment to purchase these, and I found them on Facebook Marketplace from a guy not too far from me, and a decent price. So I went ahead and got both of them. But really, it's not a whole lot on there on YouTube about these equipment, and they come from China, and they didn't have any, or I haven't been able to find any manuals yet. But I want to give a shout out to Plain Old Rednecks, I guess that's how you pronounce it, he did hit me to the fact that to get him out the crate, you're going to need a cutting wheel. So when I decided to come over today, I made sure I got all the tools I needed. Hopefully I got all the tools I needed, but I did bring my cutting wheel to cut him out these steel crates. Been checking the fluids on this. The hub is underneath this cover here, so this cover comes off. 3/4 screw right there. This off. And actually, this is metric. Grease fitting. Well, that diagram was wrong. The motor's under this cover. And let's see if the fill plug is under there. Now, before I take this cover off and remove these two hydraulic lines, one here and one here, and this cover has 6 10mm screws attaching it to the mowing head. There's 2 on the top side. And of course, they want to make it hard to get to. So you can see these 2 screws here on the back side. They are against the metal. So 1, they're not on there too tight, but 2, it's so close you can't get much in there to loosen it real quickly anyway. But there's enough space where I can reach that grease fitting, and unlike what the guy told me that I got these from, this Flailmower doesn't require any gear oil. There's no gears in here, it's just fully hydraulic. So the hydraulic fluid will lubricate the hydraulic motor, and then everything else just runs on these spindles with the grease fittings. So no oil is required. Now on the skid steer models, I'm assuming, because I haven't seen them, I'm assuming that they do have a geared hub sitting right here, because they'd have the plate, the universal skid steer plate back here, and even with a hydraulic motor, there'd be a geared hub to run the knives underneath of here. The excavator version does not require it because its hydraulic motor hooks directly to the spindle that drives the knives. So no gear oil required. And the brush cutter is the same way. The hydraulic motor, hydraulic drive hooks directly to the spindle that turns the blades underneath. So there's no gears on here where you need, there's a separate box with the gears mesh, and you need those lubricated and cooled. It's not required on the excavator models. So having checked that out, got all my grease points and know where all my fluid requirements are, I'm gonna put this back together. Then I'll go ahead and cut these crates off and mount my connections for the 308. Now it does have tabs to make sure you get it back in the proper position. And when your screw turns that easy, you know you got it right. Now I did say that was a 3/4. 3/4 socket will work, but 18-inch is the best fit, is the correct size. 18 millimeter, I mean. according to the diagram, it should sit like this on top of the mower. And the mower will swing this way. You'll feed it, swing it back and forth this direction. And the excavator will be sitting over here. Now, put all my nuts and bolts back in, lock it down. Now we're going to do the same for the Flailmower. As the sun dips beneath the trees, let's see if we can beat it getting this thing on. But of course not. There's that one. And there's that one. This mower is self-leveling. Old Mr. Sun is going on down, but we can still get her done. There he is right there. And let me check and make sure I mount her right. According to the flyer, it sits like that. Check one more again. Yep. Well, there you have it, folks. On day 2 of the project, or prepping the mowing heads for the Cat 308, is the AGROTK brush cutter and the Agro or AGT Flailmower with the mounts for the Cat 308. I got them ready to mount. Now it's just a matter of getting the machine over here, fixing the flat tire on the lowboy, and we get that done. But it'll be next year if I get around to it. We'll see you on part 3. I got just enough time to put the tools away as Mr. Sun creeps on down below the tree line and disappears for the night. You folks have a happy new year, and I'll see you on the other side. 2, 3. Well, I finally got the cat back to the yard. Now, let's drop the bucket and hook up the brush cutter, and let's see how we do. So here's the AGT brush cutter connected to the 308. This fitting here is giving me issues, so I'm gonna replace it. I can see it's bent, and I'm not sure if I did that or it came. I didn't inspect it closely before, but looking at it now, I can see that it's messed up. So I'm gonna replace this before I put this unit into service. But there's one other thing I want to point out. You have to forgive me, I have a head cold. If you have a thumb on your machine, lock your thumb in the up position before you switch the valve. And I'll show you a close-up of that real quick. If you have a thumb on your 308 and you add, you use a brush cutter or any other attachment, but you need your auxiliary, make sure you have your thumb in the up position first, and then you switch the diverter that way that'll divert the hydraulics from your thumb to whatever attachment you have. Otherwise, every time you go to turn on the brush cutter, your thumb will move up and down. You activate your thumb. Now with that, take this on and test it out. Let's take this one off and put the Now, unlike your brush cutter, the Flailmower is going to have 3 lines. Your regular supply and return, and then you have a 3rd line, which is called your case drain, which is be a fitting that's already set up on the 308. Now, I'm going to inspect these first to make sure that these fittings are okay, unlike on that brush cutter. Yep, that one seems to want to work right. And this one here seems okay, but let's see how easy they go on the 50. Now, it wouldn't be a bad idea. As you see, as soon as I connected it, my thumb dropped due to the pressure. So you may want to tie it up if you can. Here's the line for the K-string. Now, in order to relieve the pressure, I did have to loosen that line right there. There we finally have it. The AGROTK brush cutter and Flailmower mounted on my 308. If you enjoyed the video, please select the like button and subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel already. Now, I'm gonna go see if I can find some brush or some tall grass to cut up and see how it goes. So the next video will be these two new implements put to work. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next one.